Oh, maybe Charlottesville is 8 o'clock on Sunday.
He's not answering me.
Maybe he's on the way home. Maybe Charlottesville is 8 o'clock on Sunday. Maybe that's what maybe that's why. Maybe I think
He went to message, so probably he is still in.
yeah, sure. He went to Charlottesville is 8. I think Sunday morning is 2 million 7 and 8. I think so. I'm not 100% sure on Sunday.
I'll send him he'll probably send me back. No, we're doing it at 9 or something like that. Let's wait.
Is that what he said?
No, he hasn't answered yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's see what he says. Oh, here's Walter. Morning, Walter.
Morning, how are you?
Good.
Good.
You went walking?
No. I went to shul. I just was at shul at Yavne, and then I'm just waiting.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going.
Ernie's not here.
No, I see that. I don't know. He was supposed to be learning from Yavne, so I don't know what happened.
Oh.
Oh, let me call him.
Oh, he's calling me. Hello? Hello?
I'll be teaching very shortly.
Okay. He'll be very shortly.
Obviously, it's very short.
I don't know what shortly means.
I also don't know what that is. Okay. All right. I don't know what short means.
In
Hello?
in his business, he deals with short and long.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. It's like 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. Okay. Oh,
Okay. 74.
Correct. Mishnah.
Can I ask you a question? Just prior to that, when the woman is in Suffolk, whether she's get or any get, so as far as the Mazonas is concerned, it becomes a mamadika thing. So can we say Amos Mechavero on that?
The Gemara ended up saying that
He has to pay her. He has to pay her
he
Mazonos.
has to pay the mizona. So you want to say, why should he pay if it's Suffolk? She
It's a
should
moment thing.
bring proof to be able to be motzi money from him. That's what you're saying.
Right, exactly. We could ask that later. I just was thinking of it as I heard it.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I don't see any Rishonim to deal with it.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking maybe it's since it's a moment thing. But all right, listen. Go ahead. I don't want to stop you from thinking. We could address that later.
The Rambam says, "Isha shaisa megureshes misafik, yesh la mezonos b'chayi bailo achet discourage gerushin murim."
All right.
He gets mezonos until there's full gerushin. After his death, then there's no mezonos. She'ein moitziyim in ayoresh with ne'asafik. So because of the suffix, they can't go to the Yorshim and get it. But while he's alive, he has to give it.
So we won't say, even though it's a mamatika thing.
Probably because the chazaka, he was always
chazaka.
giving her mazon.
Yeah, that's a
While
chazaka.
he's alive, he continues.
Yeah, that's a chazak. Maybe stronger than Amos Mechavera. Maybe it's not. Yeah.
Mishnah.
Okay.
There's a Tanai. You have to give me $200. I raise a Megureshes. That's okay. That's a good Tanai. And if the Tanai is fulfilled, let's say from now until 30 days, if she gives it within the 30 days, then there's a garish. If it's a good garish, means the structure of the Tanai is a good Tanai. That's just in general. In the first case, he didn't put any time limit. The second case, Harold, we just started the Mishnah on Ayin Dalet, Amud Aleph, 74. If he says Amanasha Titen Li Mikan ve'ad shloshim yom, he put a time frame. Same thing. Im nastolo b'soch shloshim yom. If she fulfilled the Tanai, so Megureshes, Vim Lavin Megureshes. There was a case in a place called Sidon. It's like my bekesher. That you give me my bekesher. The of the itztaliso, it got lost. If she gives him the value, money-wise, that's enough, and the get will work. The Tanai will be fulfilled. My Vitite. Because it says, Hareze, the first part of the Mishnah said, Al Menashe Titeli Musaim says Hareze Mugreshes Vitite means it has to be given. Okay. Well, of course it has to be given. That's the Tanai. So why does it mean Vitite? Ravuna Omar, that means the get takes place right away. Vihitite. So the moment she gives the money, then retroactively, the get is chal from the time that the get was given. Rav Yehuda Omar, no, the chishitite. The divorce only takes place from the day she gave it, from the day she gave the money. We don't go backward. My binayu. What's the difference between the two sheets? Iku binayu sheniskara get or sha'ava. Let's say she received the get from the husband day one. She hadn't given the money yet. And before money's been given, and either the get is torn or lost. Ravuna Amar v'hitite. The get was chal the moment she received the get. Even if the get was torn or destroyed or burnt up or lost, and it's tzricha get sheni. She doesn't require a second get to be given to her. Rav Yehuda Omer lechishititein. That means the divorce was not chal until she gave the money. Therefore, since she hadn't given the money, there's no chalois in the get. And if the get now is torn or lost or burnt, tzricha get sheni. Right? As long as the money hadn't been given, it's not a get. Even if she wants to give. Since they hadn't been given, prior to the get being destroyed, she has to get a second get. Utna nami, gabi kiddushin. This machlokas between Rav and Rav Yehuda is also by kiddushin. Ki hai gavna, the way it was written, and the way we're going to learn it, Masechta Kiddushin, is not. Ha'omer li'isha, hariyat mekudeshes li, amanas she'eten lecha nosayim zuz. Be mekudesh to me on the tonight that I'm going to give you $200. There also we say harei mekudeshes, v'yite. The Kiddushin, the structure of the Kiddushin is good. Of course, he has to give the money. And there again, itmar mai vayitain, we have the same machloikas. Ravuda Omar v'hu yitain. The kiddushin is right away. The moment he made the statement to her, but he has to give her the money. Ravuda Omar l'chishiyite. No. The kiddush is only chal after she gives the money. After, and my binayu. There we ask the same question. Ik binayu sheposhta yodav v'kiblu kiddush me'acher. Before the woman had given the first guy money, somebody else gave her kiddushin, and she reached out her hand to accept. Ravuna Amar v'hu yite. There was a Tanai set up, Tno ba'alma, who Mekaimis Tno ba'azul. The Kiddushin is chal right away. And the money has to be given, and it has to be Mekayim. And therefore the Kiddushin she accepted from somebody else is not Toifis, because she was already a Mekudeshes. Rav Yehuda Omar lechashiyite means the Kiddushin is not chal until the woman gives the $200 according to the Tanai to the husband. And therefore there was no Kiddushin until she gave it. Since she hadn't given it, when the second guy came along and gave her Kiddushin, the first Kiddushin had not been chal yet. So therefore, the kiddushin is chal from the other guy. So tzricha, I need to be told these dinim of yitain and the machlokas between Rav and Rav Yehuda in both cases, both by gerushin and both by kiddushin. The iyashmi'inon only by kiddushin. Maybe v'hakam Rav Huna v'hu yitain. Ishum de krovaka asi. He's trying to bring her close to him. He's doing it because he wants to marry her. So we attribute his kavana that he wants the kiddushin to be chal right away. Avagabi gerushin dilarechoka kaasi, but by gerushin he wants to get rid of her. Oh no, I'm sorry. Gerushin is going to separate them. Maybe he put the Tanai because he wants to delay it. And he maybe there by Gerushin, he won't say that it's chal right away. Amos Shemoidele Rav Yehuda. That as long as the Tanai hasn't been Mikayim, there's no get. Maybe he stuck the Tanai there because he's thinking he's going to have second thought. So no, I had to be told that there's a chalois of the Gerushin right away as well, even by get. V'yashmin and Gabi Gerushin, let's say we had only been told this machlokas by the din of get, and we would come. Why would we have to say it again specifically over there by kiddushin? Because we had a svar, maybe b'hakam Rav Huna v'hi titain, mishum lo kosif lemitvei. He's not embarrassed to demand the money from her later on. And therefore he had in mind to be Megarish her right away. Avagabi Kiddushin, Iksifa Lemitvei. But by Kiddushin, where maybe she's embarrassed, and maybe her mind is not going to be ready to accept Kiddushin until the money is received, and maybe it was on that das that she was Makadesh. Maybe Rav Yehuda. Maybe there he'll agree with Rav Yehuda. So therefore, we have to say the machlokas in both cases. B'yashmin l'gabi kiddushin. If I would have been told the machlokas only by kiddushin, maybe b'hakam Rav Yehuda l'chashita mishum ksif l'mitvei. She's embarrassed to ask for the get if it hadn't been given yet. So she's not soymich on the kiyum tnai until it actually takes place. And that's the kiddushin. Avagabi gerushin shalok sif lemidvei. There she's not embarrassed. She wants to be able to go on with her life. Emu moidele l'Rav Huna, that maybe the get is chal right away. Yashmin l'gabi gerushin. Maybe b'hakam Rav Yehuda l'chashetite. Yishum rechaka ka'asi. He's coming. Maybe he wants to delay because they're separating. Avagabi kiddushin to l'krova ka'asi, trying to bring her close. Maybe ema moidel Rav Huna. That happens right away. So tzricha, the machlokas had to be taught in both places. Meisvei. Harei zegitech al menashe titen li mosaimzus. Alpha pi shenikra get o shenevad migureshes. Even though the get is destroyed or lost, it's still a good get. And she can't marry somebody else until the money's given. Also, v'otanya, here's your get. You're going to give me $200. Umeis, and he died, and they had no children. So Nosna, if she had already given the money, ain't as kukuli of it, because the divorce had been chal. So when he died, there was no marriage, so there's no yibum. But lo nasna, if she hadn't given the money yet, zkuka liyove. So we see clear from here that the get is not chal till the money is given, not like Rav Huna said. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Oimer noisenes lo aviv or lo achiv or echav ben akrivim. No, as long as she gives the money even after his death to the father, to the brothers who inherit him, so the Tanai's makuyim, she's potter from Yibu. So ad kan loy pligi. So the machlokes is the Marsav, the Tanakama holds by making the Tanai that you have to give me the money. Li means him himself, the lo Yorshi. And therefore, if he died and there's no Tanai, you can't give it to the Yorshi. Umar Savar, Rav Shimon Gamliel holds that when he said Li, afilu li Yorshi, he didn't come to exclude giving it to the Yorshi. The Kul Alman Miyat Tnav, but both the Tanakama and Rav Shimon Gamliel holds that it was a perfectly valid Tanai. So, like we said, so Tiyufted Rav Yehuda, who said that it's only chal once he gives it. Armelach Rav Yehuda Hamani Rebbe. This is a third sheet. Sha'am Rav Huna Rebbe. The word almanas always means from now. Whenever there's a t'nai, using the word almanas, it's chal right away. Even though the conditions of the t'nai are not fulfilled later. Upligi rabbanon, but the chachamim argue. I hold like the rabbanon that say no. Rav Yehuda will say, I hold like the rabbanon that say no. I don't believe that the almanas causes me'achshav. It only happens once it's given. Rab Zera, ki avinam beBavel, when we were in Bavel, Amrinon, he said, Hadam Ravunam Rebbe, the Lord Ramanas coming me'achshav dami, kligi rabbanon alei. We said that the chachamim argued with that. But ki saliki, when I went up to Eretz Yisrael, I found Ravasi learning, and he said in the name of Rav Yochanan, and loy nechlaku, the Chacham did not argue with Rabbi, if he used a different phraseology, and the Hatanya, and that's correct. If somebody says, "Hareza get me'ayom la'achar misa," get ve'eno get divrei chachamim. We had this already. Rabbi Omer kazeh get means it's a good get. So they argued that, but Amanas they all agree that it's me'achshav. And Rabbi Yehuda she'omer ba'amanas pligi, and Rabbi Yehuda who rescues himself in the previous kasha by saying that Rebbe and the Chachamim argued by Amanas. Why did he wait and argue then? Why reveal to us only the machlokas in the brisa of Ma'ayom Lachar Misa? Liflagi b'Amanas. So to show you, Lodicha Kocha the Rebbe, that he has no chashash that this get is not a get, because he's makel to allow the woman to go free. That who show that amanas is not like me'achshav. So kochatera odifle. The Gemara in general always likes to show the lenient side, show how far Rebbe is matir, rather to show how stringent the Chachamim are. Okay, the Mishnah said, "Amanash titni li mikan vad shloshim yom." If the Tanai was said, you have to give me the money within 30 days. If the money was given within 30 days, it's a get. So the Gemara says pshita. I mean, it's a Tanai. everything depends on the fulfillment of the Tanai. If the Tanai was fulfilled, why would we think that it would not be a get? Well, the same with Kapeda, Lav Kapeda, that fact that the husband said it has to be given within 30 days, it's not a real Kapeda, not a real Tanai that's Machayev. And it's just Lazar Zakasi. He just wanted to get the money as soon as possible, but it's not, wasn't a real Tanai. And if she was a little late, he wouldn't be Makbid. Kamash V'la, no, it's a complete Tanai. And if it's not Makuyim, it's not a get. Another Mishnah. Amr Shimon ben Gamliel. Our Mishnah, Maisa B'tzidin, that the get would be Chal when his wife would give him back his Bekesha.
Ernie, I don't understand the Havamin of the Gemara before because it's a Nai Kaful. A Kaful is always Mekayem. You can't.
It's not a Tnai Kaful. It's a simple.
But he says, Almanat, I give you the get. Almanat, one of the Tnais is I'll give you the other part of the other. I'm giving it. And the other part is in Shloshim Yom. So that's a Tnai Kaful. I don't understand the Gemara's Havamina.
No. A Tnai Kaful is like the Tnai of Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruven. Tnai Kaful means this is what's going to happen if you come into Eretz Yisrael and fight.
Right, you have to fight. So I know we learned it out from.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen if you don't come into Eretz Yisrael and fight. That's a Tnai Kaful. You have to. You got to be explicit. The two things here. There's only one side to the Tnai. Hareza gitech al menashe tite li mikan vat shloshim yom. Period. It's not
okay.
And it's not a get. If you don't give it to me, that would be a Tnai Kaful.
Okay. Well,
so it's a single Tnai.
Okay.
And the Gemara's question was, well, of course it's a Tnai. So the Gemara question, maybe it's not. Maybe he didn't really care exactly 30 days. He wanted the money as soon as possible. But if he gave it to her in 40 days, 50 days, he wouldn't really be market. That was the Havamina. And maybe, and it's not a real binding tonight. Says the Gemara, no, it's a binding tonight when he says that. Okay. That was the case where he had said, the get should not be chal until you give me back my Bekesha. And the Chachamim said if the get Bekesha was lost, she has to give the value of the Bekesha money-wise, and then it's a good get. Now, this story has nothing to do with the original case of the Mishnah. He wanted cash. So if the cash was paid, we say it's a get. All of a sudden, you tell me a story about he wanted some object, and then if the object was lost, she paid him the money value. It's a completely different get. What is this story doing in this Mishnah? Oh, chesuri mechzer of a hachikton. There's some words missing in the Mishnah, and we have to make an emendation to make it make sense. Here's your get, but it's only going to have force if you give me back my Bekesha. The Avda Itztaliso, and the Bekesha was lost. Itztaliso Davka Ka'amarla. There, since there's no Bekesha anymore, and he's makbid that he get the Bekesha, and since it's not there, it's not a good get. That's the Chachamim. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Omer, Titain La Estomel. He argues with the Chachamim and says, no, if she gives him the money value of the Bekesha, that would work. And Rabbi Shimon Gamliel has approved to his statement. Ma'isanavi B'tzidon. See, we missed all those words were missing. That the Ma'isa B'tzidon followed those words. The Echad Shamar Li'ishta Rezagitech Amanashatin Litztalisi, the Avda Itztalisa, the Amr Chachamim, Titin Los Tamea. And the Chachamim said, money can be given. So Ravasi asked the following question from Rav Yochanan. A man says to his wife, that you have to give me $200. And then he went and said, I moichel you. He removes the obligation to give him the money. Mal. So Tiboil Rabbana. Tiboil Rav Shimon Gamliel. This question could be asked according to both shitas. Tiboil Rabbana Akonoi Kami Rabbana Hasam. When did the Chachamim say that there's no get if the Tanai wasn't filled? And you have because she had to give the regular Bekasha. Elish lo achlagabel. Because there was no mechila on the itztalis. But here he specifically said, I'm moicha. Maybe Rabbi Gamliel doesn't say that the gerushin can go through even without giving the bekasha because she's given the value of it in money. So therefore, it's considered like the Tanai was fulfilled. Aval legamri lo. If he doesn't say mechulin, maybe not. Amar le Rav Yochanan answered, "Eina meguresh." The Tanai was not mekuyim. He said mechulin lo. Esfe. Ha'omer lechaveiro. You can't have any benefit from me. If you don't give my son a bushel of wheat, 2 barrels of wine. Remember, Osir Ad Reb Meir says that the friend cannot benefit from his friend until he actually gives those things. The Chachamim Oimrim, Avzei Yochel Hateris Nidro Shlo Pi Chacham. The guy who made the neder can undo the neder without going to a Chacham. The Oimer, Harenu Ki Ilu Is Kabalti. He'll say, it's as if I received it. I received it, like, you're Moichel. Looks like from here that if you're Mavater after what you said, it's as if you're Makabal it. And it should be considered Mechila Sabal. And therefore, if the Baal was Moichel and he did, it should be like as he accepted it, and there should be a get. Why did Rav Yochanan say there's not a get? Where's the Zachiyash? There's no comparison. By a get, the whole point of it is to upset her. The whole point of trying to get money out of her, or the itztalis, is to torture her. And by being moichelit, his kavan of torturing her has gone away. But by neder, he wanted his son to profit. And now he changed his mind. So that he can be mavate. Ahu governed Armalei Larise, person had a sharecropper working in his field. And he said, Kula ame dolu tlas tlaps of achli riva. Most sharecroppers, they irrigate the land 3 times, and they get their schar 1/4 from the produce of the land. At li arba ve'echol tilsa. I want you to irrigate 4 times, and I'll increase your wages to 1/3. Now, l'sof ata mitra. So in the end, it rained. That means without the rain, the sharecropper has to be matriach to go to the river, dig irrigation ditches, to bring water to the field. But here he didn't have to irrigate the fourth time. Now, the Chachamim came and it was asked for the Chachamim, can this sharecropper be given a third? Or since he didn't bepoa irrigate a fourth time, he's not entitled to that. On Rav Yosef Halodala, he did not mekayim the T'nai. He didn't irrigate the fourth time, and it's not magia him. He should get like the regular sharecropping rate, which is a fourth. Rava Omar Halo Itztrachay. The field didn't need it because rain came. But that's not you can't blame the Oris. And the Rava says he's magia the higher way. So lema, do we say that Rav Yosef Sha'amak Rabbanon, that Chachamim want, when he said if you lose the Bekasha, you can't pay it back with money because they need it exactly the way the Tanai was made. Maybe we'll say Rav Yosef holds the Rabbanon. The Rabbah who holds like Rav Shimon Gamliel, who allowed you to get away with it tonight to pay the money. If the Baal ended up receiving a payment and the Baal got his field irrigated, who cares? Freit the Gemara of a Tizbara. So first of all, can you hold like this? Whenever Rabba and Rav Yosef argue, the halach is always like Rabba. Uvaha, and in the machlokas between the Chachamim and Rav Shimon Gamliel, we hold ein halach Rav Shimon Gamliel. So it's going to be a stira between the two halachas. Ela la'olam kirabana. The halacha is like the Chachamim. Like the Chazaka is, not like Rav Shimon Gamliel. And Rav Yosef is paskening kirabon, straight. However, Rabba Amar Lacha, Anoda Amrinon Afilu Rabban. I can say my shita that even the Chachamim here would agree with me. Ad Konakami Rabbanan Hasam, by there where the guy said, if you don't return my bekasha to me, there won't be a gerushin. Ela de Latzarka Machavik. He was trying to torture her. And if she didn't matriach herself to go find the bekasha, he's not satisfied that she was mitzvah enough. Aval hocha, by an irrigation of a field, he's just looking for the profit, the owner. And he got the rain, so he got his profit, no problem. It's not hustle. There is a din that if you live in a walled city and you have a house in the wall of a walled city, it was sold, you sold it, you're allowed to redeem it. You have 12 months to try to go to the Bailim and redeem it. Otherwise, it's sold in perpetuity to the person you sold it to. Now, it used to be that on the last day of the 12 months, Rishoin Hayanitman Kol Hayom 12 Chodesh. The buyer would hide the last day of the 12 months. He didn't want to run into the seller who had the right to redeem it within 12 months because he wanted to own the property permanently. Iskin Hillel Azoking, Sheikholishes Maosov Lilishka. They made a rule that the guy who had sold it and he wants to redeem it can take the money, go bring it to the office in the base of Mikdash. He can go back into his house. And the guy now who had bought the house and it's being redeemed from, he can, whenever time Yavav Yitos Ma'osa, he can come to the base of Mikdash and get his money. Amar Rava, Mitakanosa shel Hillel not mashma, nishma. From the takon of Hillel comes out. Man gave his wife a get based on the condition that she give him $200. The nostalomi daito. And he's happy to get the money and he receives it. So then the t'nai is fulfilled and the divorce is chal. But let's say she comes to pay the money, and at that time, he doesn't want to accept it. Al korcho, and she tries to force it on him, ain't a mugresh. Now, why does this, what do we see from this takon of Hillel? Because Hillel had to make a takona, special takona, shenitna bal korcho, that we're basically giving it to the buyer of that house against his will, and we call it Havile Nesina. Mechlal de Ba'alma Nesina Ba'korcha Lav Nesina. A regular Nesina is not considered. It's only there that Hillel said, the guy's been hiding out. He doesn't want his house to get redeemed. So there, Hillel made a special takona that giving it to him, even against his will, is considered a giving. But in all other cases, it's not a giving. So, like in a case of the get, it would not be considered a get. Okay, we'll stop here.
Can we say like hefker, bezin hefker by the money, by the selling and buying of the property? Since she put it in the base of Mikdash, the hefker, bezin hefker, maybe we can use that sword. Hefker, bezin hefker, because it's a mamadika thing.
Perhaps. They made it tonight that they knew that the guys are not going to make themselves scarce. It's not fair. The guy wants to redeem it, so they said even a nesina bal korcho is a nesina. That's the chiddush that it's a nesina, even though he's refusing to receive it. So you give it in Bezdin, you gave it to him.
Right.
Big chiddush.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah, beautiful.
Maybe it is based on Hefker, Bezdin, Hefker, since they can sort of control economic, matan, perhaps.
Okay. By the way, if a woman makes a tanai, I'll marry you in $200, and he never gives it to her the whole marriage, and then he dies. I mean, it's so suffer mukresha, suffer.
But that's the machlokes.
I understand.
One mother said if they give it to the Yorshim,
right? If they give and if he doesn't, and he doesn't do it, they don't give it to the Yorshim. I mean, nothing. If they can't force.
Well, he dies, and then what's that? They obviously didn't have children. What are you talking about? Yibum?
Well, anything, yeah, right. There'll be anything. I mean, obviously, she wouldn't get a ksuba. That's for sure, right? She wouldn't get the ksuba then.
You only get ksuba with nesuin.
So, but he, obviously, he lived with her all this time.
No, kiddushin. They didn't live each other with kiddushin. There's kiddushin, then nesuin. So it's just.
So this is talking. He never did nesuin with her.
No. We talked about the case where he said kiddushin with the t'nai of $200, and then a week later somebody else tries to give her kiddushin. Is the second kiddushin chal or not? So if she's an Ashes,
so that's machlokas, right? So, but the thing is, let's say he married.
There would be no chalos of the second kiddushin. If there's no kiddushin unless the money was given, then there would be kiddushin from the second guy who gave it to her.
So let's say if nobody ever, the second person ever came along, but she lived with them all her life without actually getting the money. So they just live. They lived not as Ashes Ish then. They lived as.
There was a nesuin afterwards. What was
the nesuin? Was it with Bia or something like that? So that was a kedushin, but it just wasn't the Tanai wasn't fulfilled of getting the $200. I'll give you $200.
In order for the kiddushin the kiddushin is only going to be chal once the money is paid. The question is, what is the date of the Kiddushin? Do we go retroactive when he made the Tanai? Or is it only when the money was paid? That's what they were arguing with.
I know, I understand, but let's say,
There's no
let's say he,
Kiddushin, there's no Kiddushin without money being paid.
but let's say he made the Kedushin and the Sue with him with Bia. And then he promised her $200. So maybe that's nothing to do.
Unless the $200 was given, there's no Kiddushin.
But what if he made the Nisuin with Bia? And then that just was a promise of,
There's no
he owes her.
Nisuin is not made with Bia. So Kiddushin, Kesef, Shtar, Ubia. Those are the three vehicles that you could make Kiddushin with.
So he did it with,
And-
he promised her
and Nisuin-
$200.
There's 6 shitas is what Nisuin is. Going under a chuppah, the badekin, yichud, taking her in. But we're not talking about Nisuin. We're talking about the chalos of the Kiddush, the same machlokas that we had by Gittin. When shetitain or not, they're the same. Rav Huna and Rav, the same machlokas.
Right.
Get chal from the time he gave it to her, even though
Or-
the money was only paid a month later, or is the get only chal once he paid a month later?
Okay, Ernie, you should have a Nasiya Tova.
Thank
Great
you.
time. Enjoy.
The
Thank
safe
you.
trip, yeah.
Have a